Good evening, sir. So today I'm going to explain about what is a language in my opinion. So, what is a language? For me, language is a complex and dynamic system that humans use to communicate with one another. It involves not only the spoken words but also written text and gestures, depending on the context and the needs of the individual communicating. And language is deeply tied to culture and identity as it reflects to history, values, and way of life of community. Each language follows its own unique rules, including grammar and syntax and pronunciation. These rules are what allow speakers of a language to understand each other. And language also has the flexibility to evolve over time as new words are created, meaning shift, and communication methods change due to advancements like the internet and social media. Like for example, in the digital age, words like emoji and selfie have entered the language, the English language, showing how language adapts to societal changes beyond beyond everyday communication. And language is essential for abstract thinking, emotional expressions, and even identity formations, as it allows people to express like how they are and how they feel the word, like that. And then for the next is double articulation. um, double articulation is a foundational concept in linguistics that explains how language operates on two levels simultaneously. And the first level involves the arrangement of sounds, which are called phonemions. And then phonemions themselves do not carry meaning. Rather, they are the building blocks of language that, when combined in specific ways from words, these words are part of the second levels, where meaning is created. At this level, meaningful units of language, known as morphemes, are constructed from these phenomenons. And what makes double articulation powerful is that a small set of phenomenons can be rearranged to from an infinity number of words and sentences. This dual layer structure is what makes human language so versatile and efficient. And for the consider the words like cat. It is composed of four phonemions like k, a, and t, and s. These individual sounds do not mean anything on their own, but when put together, they form a words that represent an animals, and the s at the end at the meaning of polarity, or signaling that we are talking about more than one cat. This double articulation allows language to create a vast range of expressions from a relatively small set of sounds. And then for the next is syntax. Syntax refers to the rules and principles that governs how words are combined to form sentences. It is article components of language because without a proper syntax, communications would be chaotic and difficult to understand. Each language has its own syntactical rules which can vary greatly. In English, for instance, the typical sentence structure follow, follows a subject, verb, and object. As in the sentence, the cat subject and then the chess verb and the mouse is object. Changing in the order of these elements can lead to confusing or a change in meaning, such as everything the sentence to the mouse chased the cat, which completely changed the situations being described. And syntax also governs the relationships between different parts of sentence, include clause and purse and punctuation. And for example, in the sentence, she quickly ran to the store, and the verb quickly modifies the verb's ran and providing more information about how she ran how she ran. In many languages, word order may be more flexible with meaning conveyed through words ending or particles rather than a fixed order. Like in Japanese, for example, the standard words order is subject, object, and verb. So the equivalence of I eat an apple would be I an apple eat. This syntactical difference between languages are key to understand how different cultures structure through how structure thoughts and communication. And then for the next is the function of language. Language perform many essential functions in human's life, serving as the primary means through which we convey information, expressing emotion, and establish social relationships. One of the primary function is communication, where language allows us to share ideas, facts, and expressions with others. And whether we are explaining how to bake a cake, discussing words events, or asking for directions, language is the tool we use to change information. Another important function is expressions, and language allows us to articulate our feelings, emotions, and thoughts, enabling use to convey from joy and love to frustration and anger. For the example, like saying I am excited helps our other understand our emotional states and can prompt a shared expression. Beyond personal communications, language play a social role, facilitating interactions and helping to build relationships within communities. It acts as a way of maintaining connections, as seen in casual greetings or small talk, such as "How are you?" even when we do not necessarily expect a detailed response. And in this ways, language is also a tool for fostering social cohesion and helping people connect, belong, and navigate social structures. And then, yeah. And then for the next is micro functions of language. Um, Language serve various micro functions which are more specific and detailed in nature. One such function is the physiological functions, where language express basic human emotions and needs. And this is often seen in moments of pain or joy, where someone might carry out screams or cheer. This immediate instructional use of language allow people to respond to their environment and communicate urgent needs. And another micro functions is the pedagogic functions, which involves using language to establish or maintain social bonds. This type of language use doesn't necessarily convey the new information, but is important for keeping communications channels open. An example is greeting someone with "Hi, how it's going?" "Hi, how it's going?" where the purpose is more about knowledge the other persons and then seeking detailed information. The recording function is another key use of language, where language is used to document or record events, facts, and ideas. This function is vital in writing book, keeping journals, or making to-do lists. It allows us to store information for later use and share it with others. And these identifying functions involve using language to name and classify objects, people, and concepts, which is fundamental for creating a shared understanding of the world. When you say this is a computer, you are using language to identify and categorize the object. And the reasoning functions enables people to use language for logical thinking and problem solving. And when we explain how something happens, like because it's raining, we need an umbrella, we are using language to reason and make decisions. Finally, the pleasure function of language is used for enjoyment and entertainment, and whether through storytelling, jokes, or reading a novel. This function shows how language can be used purely for fun or relaxation. And then for the next is macro function of language. On a broader scale, language has several macro functions that serve large purpose in society and communication. One of these is the identitional function, which allows people to use language to share ideas, express and knowledge. This function is crucial in education, scientific discussion, and general communication about the world around us. And for instance, when a teacher explains the process of photosynthesis to a class, they are using the ideational function of language to convey scientific knowledge. And another macro function is the interpersonal functions, which focuses on how language is used to build and maintain the relationship between individuals through bo- uh, through through speech, compliments, or persuasive. Language we use these functions to manage social interactions. For example, when you tell a friend you did a great job on that presentation, you are using language to strengthen your relationship. The poetic function refers to the use of language in a creative and an aesthetic way, such as in literature, poetry, or songs lyric. And these functions enhances the the beauty and forms of language as well as its capacity to evoke emotions and imagery. An example of this is the purse, the sky. Yeah, and the sky was a canvas painting with stars, which used language, artistical to create a vivid picture. and and for the next is language overviews. Language in the foundation of human communication, and it's incredibly diverse. There are of 700 languages spoken around the world today, and each one represents of understanding and interpreting the word. And languages are not static; they are evolved over time as new words are created, and old words fall out of use and meaning shift. And like, for example, English has undergone significant change from Old English, which is barely recognizable, and yeah, and to modern English, which continues to evolve with the additional of terms. And languages are also tied to the identities of the people who speak them. They can reflect cultural values, society norms, and even the environment in which a group live. And for instance, the Inuit people who live in Arctic regions have many words for different types of snow because it plays such as central roles in their life. Meanwhile, a person from tropical climate may only have one word for snow. This highlights how language is not only a tool for communication but also reflection of the words as a people expressions it. And then for the next is language definition. Language can be defined as a structured system of communication that use sounds, symbols, or gestures to convey meanings. This system is governed by rules that determines how words are formed, arranged, and interpreted. A language can be spoken, written, or said, and serve as the main medium through which people which people express thoughts, emotion, and ideas. And a key feature of language is that it's arbitrarily, meaning there is no inherent connections between the source of the word and the object or concept it represents. And then for the example, there is nothing about the word tree that's inherently links it to the it to the object we know as a tree. Different language use entirely different words to the refer to the same thing. For instance, the French word for tree is arbor. And that's all. Thank you.